Alright everyone, welcome to lesson 3 of developing a ensemble character. Today we're going to talk about relationships. So, now that we know who they are and how they move, we need to talk about how your character interacts with other people and the world. So their relationships with people and the world around them. In lesson 1, I had you make a decision on who the most important person in the world to your character was. So I want you to look back in your notes, find out who that person was. If you don't remember it, look it up, make sure you have it. And then you are going to journal about this person. So on the whiteboard, I have 6 questions that I want you to answer about this person. So I'm going to zoom you in so we can go over those. All right. So, first question, who is this person? Who are they? We need to know that. The second question, why are they the most important person to your character? Why? Question 3, how did they meet? Question 4, how often do they see each other? Question 5, how would your character feel if this person were no longer in their life? And question 6, what is your character's favorite thing about this person? So go ahead and pause the video now and go through and answer all of these questions, and when you've done that, press play. Okay. So we started by talking about your character's favorite person. You also, in that first lesson, figured out who your character lives with. So now what I want you to do is pause the video and just free write about those people. It doesn't have to be the same questions from before, just anything you can write about the people your character lives with. What is your character's relationship like with them? You can go back to those prompts if you need some more suggestions. But just free write about the people your character lives with. Alright, so let's talk about why it's important that you know about your relationships when you're building an ensemble character. First of all, every person in the world has relationships. There's not a single person on this planet who doesn't have a relationship with someone or something. So it wouldn't make sense for even an ensemble character to not have a sense of relationships. They're a person, so they have relationships. Next, how we relate to other people impacts how we behave. So simple things like, is your character introverted or extroverted? So do they thrive on relationships with other people, or do they thrive on time by themselves? That's going to impact how they move through the world, not just their relationships. Or if you go into a room and as your character, does your character know everyone in the room? Is it all of their best friends, or is it a room of strangers? That will impact how your character behaves. So we need to know relationships to be able to know how to react to situations and people. So when you're in an ensemble and on stage during action that the leads are doing, you have to know how you feel about those people to be able to react to what's going on. Your job as the ensemble is to react and create the complete picture. But if you don't know what your relationship is to the person who is completing the action, that's the main focus of the scene, how are you going to react? You have to have that insight. So what I want you to do is pause this video and take a few minutes to write about how your character feels about Anna and Elsa at the very beginning of Frozen. So the very beginning of the play, before anything has happened, how does your character feel about the princesses? Pause now and press play when you've written that down. All right, so now we've written about how your character feels at the very beginning of the show. But the thing about people is that how they feel about things and people change as different events unfold. And in Frozen, a lot of events unfold. So now I'm going to have you answer 2 more prompts about how you feel about Elsa and Anna. So you are going to pause this video and you are going to write about how your character feels about Anna and Elsa. First, after Elsa runs away from the coronation party and Anna goes after her. So how does your character feel about Anna and Elsa in that situation? And then at the end of the play, once they have saved Arendelle. So I want you to write about the middle of the play, well, towards the beginning of the play, but the first major action, Elsa showing her magic and running away and Anna chasing after her to figure it out. And then the end of the play when everything comes back together and it's all happily ever after. So pause the video and write about how your character feels about the princesses at that moment. So how did your opinions change? Probably in a big way as far as Elsa's concerned, right? She had a big character arc. At first, she's this mysterious princess that no one has seen in years, not even her own sister. Then you go to the coronation and she's this beautiful queen and is very poised and put together, maybe a little distant, but she's very poised and put together. And then she has magic and runs away up to an ice palace and leaves snow over Arendelle in the summer. So that's a lot. And in the end, she's able to unfreeze everything and save her sister and all of these different things. So she definitely goes through a huge arc. So your opinion of her has probably changed a lot. So how characters and people in general relate to other people is gonna change. How I relate to people in my life who have been in my life since I was born to now at age 25 is very different, right? How I relate to someone from the first second I meet them to having known them for 2 hours is gonna be different. So characters and their relationships change just like people and their relationships change. So we have to know what our baseline relationships are to be able to build them throughout the show. So just like your relationships in real life, your character will too. It's just another stepping stone in building your complete ensemble character. In the next lesson, we're going to dive into intentions, which are your character's goals and wants. And we're going to get a little bit deeper into their psyche. So, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure that you have your notebook ready at the start of the next lesson. We're going to dive in to some great work on intentions.